A young woman, just 24, standing on the edge of her dreams. A college degree in her hands, a new job waiting, and a life bursting with possibility. She's vibrant, kind, the kind of person who lights up a room. But one night, in the quiet college town of Auburn, Alabama, she steps into the darkness and vanishes. Her car was found burned to a crisp on a desolate dirt road. Her body, never found. And the man she trusted, he's hiding a secret so horrifying it'll send chills down your spine. This is the haunting story of Lori Ann Slesinski. A story of trust betrayed, a family's unrelenting fight for justice, and a truth buried for over a decade, until it finally clawed its way to the surface. This video is dedicated to Lori's memory and her loved ones, who still carry her loss every day. Stay with me, because this case will grip you, break your heart, and remind you that evil can hide behind the friendliest face. Lori Ann Slesinski was the kind of person everyone loved. Born in 1981, she grew up in a close-knit family surrounded by love and laughter. She had a smile that could melt hearts and a spirit that radiated warmth. Friends described her as vibrant, caring, and fiercely compassionate. She had a special place in her heart for animals, strays especially. Lori was known for rescuing cats and dogs, nursing them back to health, and dreaming of one day opening an animal shelter. In 2006, Lori was 24 and standing at a crossroads. She'd just graduated from Auburn University with a degree in psychology, a testament to her desire to understand and help people. She'd landed a new job, was planning to move into her first apartment, and was excited to visit her mother, Arlene, to share her dreams. Lori wasn't just surviving. She was thriving, building a life full of purpose and promise. But someone was watching her, someone she thought was a friend. It was Saturday, June 10, 2006, a warm summer evening in Auburn, Alabama. Lori had plans for a girls' night with her friend Lindsay Braun. Surveillance footage from a local Walmart captured Lori that evening, buying snacks and smiling, unaware of the danger closing in. She told Lindsay she'd be over soon, but Lori never arrived. The next day, Sunday, June 11th, Lori was supposed to visit her mother, Arlene, in Dadeville, about 30 miles away. Arlene waited, but Lori didn't show. She called her daughter's phone. Once. Twice. No answer. Worry turned to panic. Arlene contacted Lori's friends. No one had seen her. Something was terribly wrong. By Monday, Arlene reported Lori missing. Auburn police sprang into action searching her mobile home in the Deerfield trailer park. Inside, everything seemed normal, except for a few chilling details. Lori's purse, keys, and beloved dog, Pumpkin, were still there, but Lori was gone. On June 14th, 4 days after Lori vanished, police made a grim discovery. Lori's 2006 Mazda Tribute was found on DeKalb Street, a quiet industrial area near a bowling alley. The car was burned to a shell, charred, unrecognizable, reduced to ash and twisted metal. The doors were locked. The keys were missing. And there was no sign of Lori. No blood, no struggle, no trace. It was as if she'd been erased from existence. Auburn police launched a full-scale investigation. They interviewed friends, family, and neighbors, piecing together Lori's final hours. One name kept coming up: Daryl Richard Ennis, known to everyone as Rick. Rick, then 25, was a friend of Lori's. They'd met through mutual acquaintances, and some said they were close. Others whispered that Rick wanted more than friendship, and Lori didn't feel the same. Rick admitted to seeing Lori on June 10th. He claimed they'd hung out at her trailer, had a casual evening, and then parted ways. But his story was vague, and police weren't convinced. They started digging into Rick Ennis's past, and what they found sent shivers through the investigation. At just 12 years old, Rick Ennis had done the unthinkable. In 1993, in Phoenix City, Alabama, he murdered his adoptive parents, Richard and Peggy Ennis. The details were horrifying. Rick stabbed his father, shot his mother, and tried to cover it up by setting their house on fire. He fled but was caught days later. Tried as a juvenile, he was convicted of capital murder and sent to a detention facility. By age 21, Rick was released. His record was sealed, his past buried. He moved to Auburn, blending into the college town's laid-back vibe, working odd jobs including at a bowling alley near where Lori's car was found. Lori, like most of his friends, likely had no idea about the darkness in his history. To her, he was just Rick, a friend, someone she trusted. But police weren't so sure. Rick's past made him a person of interest. But there was a problem. No hard evidence tied him to Lori's disappearance. Nobody. No DNA. At least, not yet. The burned car yielded few clues. The case stalled, leaving investigators frustrated and Lori's family in agony. For Arlene Slesinski, Lori's mother, the pain was unbearable. Lori wasn't just her daughter. She was her best friend, her confidant, her light. Arlene refused to let Lori's case fade into obscurity. She organized vigils, put up flyers, and worked tirelessly with police, pleading for answers. "I just want to know where my daughter is," Arlene said in interviews, her voice breaking. "I need to bring her home." Years passed, 2007, 2008, 2009. The case grew cold, but Arlene never stopped. She kept Lori's memory alive, holding on to hope that one day the truth would surface. Friends and family rallied around her, holding annual memorials and praying for a breakthrough. And behind the scenes, a dedicated team of investigators was still working, determined to crack the case. In 2016, the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation's Cold Case Unit took a fresh look at Lori's case. Agent Mark Whitaker, a seasoned investigator, led the charge. They re-examined every piece of evidence, re-interviewed witnesses, and followed new leads. And slowly the puzzle began to come together. A critical discovery came from an overlooked report from 2006. A cigarette butt found near Lori's burned car had DNA, and it matched Rick Ennis. Blood found on Lori's trailer door also pointed to Rick. And in a chilling find, a bedsheet from Lori's home tested positive for Rick's semen. Investigators dug deeper. They tracked down Rick's former roommates, co-workers, and romantic partners. What they heard was disturbing. One roommate recalled finding rugs from Lori's trailer in their shared apartment, rugs Rick couldn't explain. A co-worker, Terry Booth, came forward with a bombshell. In 2006, Rick had confessed to him, saying he had to strangle a beach and needed to leave Auburn. Another witness, a former girlfriend, claimed Rick made cryptic comments about Lori's disappearance, hinting he knew where her body was. Piece by piece, the evidence built a damning case. Rick Ennis wasn't just a friend with a dark past. He was a predator, obsessed with Lori and unable to handle her rejection. In 2018, 12 years after Lori vanished, police arrested Rick Ennis in Virginia, where he'd been living under the radar. He was charged with 2 counts of capital murder, murder during a burglary and murder during a kidnapping. The trial began in April 2022 in Lee County, Alabama. Prosecutors painted a chilling picture. Rick, consumed by unrequited love, broke into Lori's trailer on June 10, 2006. When she rejected him, he killed her, disposed of her body, and burned her car to destroy evidence. Though Lori's body was never found, the forensic evidence, DNA, blood, and semen, and witness testimonies were overwhelming. Rick's defense claimed he and Lori had a consensual relationship and suggested she vanished after a drug deal gone wrong. But no evidence supported this. Lori had no history of drug use, and the jury saw through Rick's lies. On April 14, 2022, after a 10-day trial, the verdict came: guilty on both counts. Rick Ennis was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Arlene, who'd waited 16 years for justice, chose life over the death penalty, wanting closure without further appeals. "I just want peace," she said, tears in her eyes. But for Arlene, justice only goes so far. Lori's body has never been found. There's no grave to visit, no place to lay flowers, no final goodbye. Arlene still holds on to hope that one day she'll know where her daughter is. "Lori deserves to come home," she said, her voice a mix of strength and sorrow. Lori's story is a reminder of how fragile life can be. She was a daughter, a friend, a dreamer, taken too soon by someone she trusted. Her case also shows the power of persistence. Arlene's love, the investigators' dedication, and a community's refusal to forget brought justice after 16 long years. Thank you for watching Lori's story. If it moved you, please share this video to honor her memory and raise awareness about missing persons cases. Hit that subscribe button for more true crime stories every week, and leave a comment. What do you think happened to Lori? Should Rick Ennis reveal where her body is? Let's discuss below. If you want to learn more, search for Lori Slesinski case, or check out resources like CBS's 48 Hours coverage. And if you ever sense something's off with someone you know, trust your instincts. Speak up. It could save a life. Stay safe, stay curious, and never forget, evil can hide behind a smile.